What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast for another episode of Black Friday. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. What's up, fellas? Welcome to another episode of Black Friday. You know, fellas, I thought since the rodeo is here in Houston, and with it being Black History Month, I thought it was only right that we, talk about some of the black pioneers or African American men and women who helped settle the Wild West. I feel like, this entire, we normally have a black fact at the end of our show, and I figured this entire show pretty much would be black facts, that we can't take back. I actually had the pleasure of going to the rodeo last week, man, and I had a good time, and it just made me feel good to be a Texan, honestly speaking. I actually had my cowboy hat and my boots on, and I felt some type of way, especially at the end of the night, getting up out them boots, and I just don't know how them men did that back in the day, bro.
All day long, huh?
I'm sure, if I did it on a daily basis, I would be used to it, but bro, my dogs was barking at the end of that day, I have to honestly say. But back to our show, man. The first person I wanted to talk about, Bass Reeves. Bass was born in 1838, and he lived till 1910. And Bass was a U.S. Marshal who was instrumental in maintaining law and order in the Old West. He was the first African American deputy U.S. Marshal to patrol essentially lawless Indian territories west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Born into slavery, Reeves fled north to Texas during the Civil War and lived among the Cherokee. Hold on, let me back up. He lived among the Cherokee, which are Indians, but it said he patrolled lawless Indian territory west of the Mississippi. When slavery was abolished in 1865, he moved to Arkansas, became a farmer, married, and over the years had 11 children. He reached U.S. Marshal James Fagan. In 1875, word reached U.S. Marshal James Fagan that Reeves was adept at speaking several Indian languages, and soon Reeves hung up the overalls and pinned on a badge and served 32 years as a federal peace officer. I know we've all heard of this cowboy right here, William Pickett, better known as Bill Pickett.
Bill Pickett? Yeah.
I heard of Bill. I heard of Reeves, actually.
I hadn't heard of Reeves, but that's a very interesting story. But Bill Pickett I have heard of.
The other guy, is a part in that you said that about the Indians. It just kind of reminds you, not saying that, blacks are better than anybody. We're not. We're all God's children, all of us. But if you notice, like today, we, blacks, we kind of generally, we get along with Hispanics. But if you notice, back then, it was Indian, I guess, for their time. I don't know the population of Hispanics back during then, but it's probably Indian population was much higher, probably like the Hispanic. But we're able to get along with, it doesn't matter what culture or whatever, we're able to get along with any other race. Mm-hmm.
You're saying it's easier for blacks to get along with any other race? So. That just seems that way to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a lot easier. That's Indian. Think about it. It's always hard to approach Indians in any stories that we've ever watched on TV. You try to do something, they come in and all the anything Indian related movies that I've seen.
That's because as a race, man, we're loving people.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying.
And when you think about history of U.S. and all that stuff, we ain't a lot of hatred there, man. We
exactly.
Yeah. That was on. We know.
Yeah, I think some poet said this the best. We don't bar no plex. Let me stop.
All right, man. Back to Bill Pickett. Bill Pickett is known for inventing what's now known popular as the steer wrestling event that's done in the rodeos. Born a former slave, Pickett was the second of 13 children and began his cowboy life right after 5th grade, putting on shows and passing the hat.
Yeah.
Throughout his life, he gave exhibitions in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, and England, and went on to become the first black cowboy movie star. I think that's where I may recognize him or remember him from, is some old westerns back in the day when I was young. Stagecoach Mary Fields.
I've heard of her.
She robbing stagecoaches, Mary?
We're about to find out.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I gotta see what Mary might she bugging. Let's see.
They got a picture of Mary. She definitely look like she ain't playing no games. Born in 1832, and she lived to to 1914. At 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, toting a pair of 6 shooters and a shotgun, smoking a foul-mouthed homemade cigar. Even the burliest man would think twice about getting into a fight with Mary Fields. The woman was fierce, feisty, and a short, explosive temper that often led to fist flying and gunshots ringing. She was born a slave in Tennessee, made her way to Cascade County, Montana, that is, as a free woman. Years after the Civil War ended, seeking a better life and adventure, she worked at a group of Ursuline nuns doing missionary work. They hired her to do the heavy lifting and things of that nature. You know, I guess she was the man of the
whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Convent, or
there you go.
What is it?
Yeah.
So I got a question. Oh man, I'm so sorry. As a comedian,
Go ahead.
I gotta ask this.
Let's get the hammer ready, Slash.
Who plays her role if they ever did a movie for her?
I know.
Me too.
Yeah.
Leslie Jones.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's the only one that could play that.
Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, but real talk, looking at the picture, bro.
She looked like her, huh?
Yeah.
Oh
Leslie Jones.
man.
She really that would be a spot on role
Yeah.
for Leslie.
Oh
Hey.
Yeah.
man, and give her
Rootin'
a
tootin' hot
shotgun.
gun shooting.
You ain't lying. She
Yeah,
could
that's
let
her,
me.
man.
Yeah, she could play
That'd be
Harriet
a
or
good role
Leslie.
for her.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all hit the nail on the head on that one.
Yes, indeed.
I'm so wrong. I'm sorry. Everything make me laugh. I'm sorry, y'all.
You sure that's everything?
Yeah.
How
That's it.
you
Ain't no more.
doing?
Nah, that don't make me laugh.
Nat Love. He got the right name. Nat was born in 1854, and he lived to 1921. Was born a slave in Tennessee, and he had an advantage over many men, black and white. You know, and I could see why. You know, looking at the picture of Nate, he could read and write, and he longed for a life on the range. When he found a ranching outfit in Texas that employed several black cowboys, he asked the trail boss for a job, which he agreed. And then his job was basically to break in the wildest horse in the herd. You know, another noted black cowboy, Bronco Jim, was also with the outfit. I've heard of Bronco Jim. I think at least the name sounds familiar.
They used a black man to break the wildest horse.
Right.
Get on that nag. Get on that nag and break that horse.
Yeah, because they didn't want to get
Yeah,
kicked
they ain't
by the
want to
horse.
get kicked. You get the nigga to go do. You go break that gas. Go out there.
And we did it. Did a damn good job of
You
it.
to break that horse and get your ass
you
broken.
ain't lying. You gonna pick one?
And guess what? They still doing it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Nat offered a bit of advice. Love survived the wildest ride of his life and got himself a job. He and 5 fellow black cowboys entered a competition for a $200 prize, which was no easy feat, but it was pretty much to mount a wild Mustang in the shortest time. They got a person on here I was going to talk about, but I think that was going to get Cyrus a little excited, so I'm going to go and pass by that.
What's that?
I'm sure you probably heard of this with Deadwood Dick.
Nah, man. I don't know nothing about
Okay.
that. I don't know.
Dick. Did anybody say something about some dick?
Man, it
right.
sound like to me, man, you naming people from the Hateful Eight, from the movie The Hateful Eight on Netflix. Everybody gangster up for this. Some gangster cowboys.
Oh, man. Okay. Bose Icard. Never heard of this person. Born in 1843 and lived to 1929. Icard was a cattle driver for a famous ranching partner, Oliver Loving and Charles Goodnight. After Loving's death at the hand of a Comanche Indian, Icard became close friends with Goodnight, remaining employed with him for 4 years. And Goodnight once said he trusted Icard farther than any living man. Next person I want to talk about, George Glenn. Born into slavery and raised on the Texas ranch of Robert B. Johnson. Glenn trained as a cowhand and a trail cook. That's what you would think most black cowboys would do back then.
Yeah, I want some chili and chicken or something. Chili.
He rode the famed Chisholm Trail in 1870, the only black cowboy of the prominence in the history of the trail.
You said George Benson, right? Down on the good foot.
George Glenn.
Oh.
Shit.
It said George Benson.
Come on, man.
He was honored as one of the small number.
Sorry. I thought.
You shouldn't think.
Say the neon lights so bright on Broadway.
I know, and then I got the artist wrong.
Yeah, you did.
That's George. That's the other George.
God, damn.
What other George?
The one with the colorful hair.
Clinton.
Yeah. So I sung the wrong song. It was a song for Clinton.
Like Clash say, don't think, bro.
And then he said, I said Benson. I just got it
thinking that out, bro.
twisted. That's a dude.
Hey,
I'm done. I'm
Glenn
wow.
was honored as one of a small number of black members of the Old Trail Drivers Association at the 1925 and 1926 annual meeting. All right, Mary Ellen Pleasant.
I heard of her.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar to me too.
Anybody with that name of Pleasure.
Pleasant.
Oh, same thing.
A businesswoman ahead of her way ahead of her time. Former slave, Pleasant moved to San Francisco and opened a thriving boarding house.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And partnered with Thomas Bell to co-found the First Bank of California. She was about her money.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she was about her money. She was known as the Angel of the West because of her passion for helping underprivileged and marginalized people, especially providing safe havens for the abused women and children. That's what's up.
That's what I was looking for, because everybody else was just gangsters, had shotguns and stuff. I'm looking for this humanitarian.
Her last name explained it.
Pleasant humanitarian.
That's probably the last name that they gave her through society.
Did she win any type of awards or anything? She
I'm
had
sure
to
she
have.
probably was
Then,
later
gotta
on
be some
giving her
type of
flowers.
What year was that?
Mary was born in 1814 and she lived through 1903.
Nobel Peace Prize wasn't. I think that's when it was.
You about to say something, Freddie G?
No, I'm just looking at comedian names.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think when the Nobel
I'm trying to think of when. What are you talking about?
I'm thinking.
There
Stop
you go,
thinking.
bro.
Go.
Addison Jones. Addison was born
1 D or 2?
1845, and he lived to 1926. What you say?
1 D or 2 for Addison.
2 Ds.
2 D's, okay.
Addison Jones rode the Goodnight Loving Trail in New Mexico, and as a range boss, he led a crew of black cowboys from South Texas. He was well liked by everyone and became something of a celebrity in the Southwest. And he was even the subject of a cowboy song. And it doesn't list that song, but Addison
Kind of a
Jones.
rhinestone cowboy.
Addison,
I remember that song, but I wasn't that Willie Nelson Rhinestone Cow.
Was it Conway Twitty?
It may have been before.
yeah, that's a Texas native, huh?
I don't know.
Conway
I'm just
Twitty.
saying.
All right, last but not least, hopefully I pronounced this right, spelled Cathay, Cathay Williams, born in 1844
Good day.
and lived to 1892. After the Civil War, In November of 1866, Cathay, I feel like I'm saying that wrong, Miss Williams changed her name to William Cathay and disguised as a man enlisted in the United States Regular Army, assigned to the 38th U.S. Infantry, one of the regiments made up of African American troops,
What year?
later called the Buffalo Soldiers, a name given to troops by the Native Americans that they fought.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this man's deceased, but like literally, maybe like about 4 or 5 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always in the hood. The last remaining Buffalo
Buffalo
soldier.
Soldier.
Man,
He always be in the hood.
I think I know you talking about. I can't remember where I've seen him
I've
at.
seen him a few times. He's always
in the hood.
And he'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
know
the
a lot of the
last.
cats. He's the last one.
Last
They got
one.
his picture.
Mural?
Yeah, a mural, but they they got the Buffalo Soldier over there, kind of like in
Sophomore.
Midtown, like
In the museum off of Sophomore,
I don't know if it's
if I'm
on-
not mistaken, in Third Ward.
I can't remember. Part of me feel like it was by HCC, the one.
Oh, okay.
The one that's in Midtown, kinda. But yeah, the last Buffalo Soldier. I've seen him a few times.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that was an interesting story. And I actually saw a movie on, I think it was on Netflix. That the movie wasn't about Cathay Williams, but it was about a black female who had posed as a male and actually had enlisted in the army, and she was a pretty good gunfighter herself. It was a pretty good movie. I don't know if it was based on a true story
She
or
hid
not.
there. You got to wash up and everything.
Yeah, how did she hide that?
She hid the head, and then you got a period.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I can't say, but yeah, this was a black
How was she able
female.
to do that, huh? Damn,
Damn.
it's a cold one. Yeah.
How you able to disguise Comedian 96 as a man?
I don't know. Maybe you could answer. Maybe you could.
He say, "I don't know."
I don't know.
He
Maybe
say, "I don't know."
I don't know. Maybe you could answer me as a woman. How do you feel about things like that as a woman? How do you feel? If you can, you can hear.
While popular legend depicts, man, the 20-year-old golden age of the American West, which was from 1866 to 1886, had great cattle drives, which were led by grizzled white men. But the reality is those determined white men often worked side by side with equally tough and determined black, Mexican, and Native American cowhands. Many black cowboys were former slaves who took their chances riding, in the frontier through riskier rather than working on farms. That just lets you know, we was willing to do whatever, back in the day, even before the what did they call it, the American frontier? American West. Even before the American West, it didn't matter what the job was. Black folks were willing to try anything, and we showed that we were able to do it, if not better than those that was teaching us.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if I would rather. I actually like that cowboy lifestyle, though, man. I feel like I'm a city boy,
It looked
born
good.
in the country.
It looked good. You know what? There was one show with what's that rapper with the braids? He did, and it's actually it's based out of Philly, but it's sort of like Houston is. We have a piece that's like if you're from Houston, if you on one side of 610, right? Maybe South Lawn area, but if you cross over, those people over there got some horses back there.
Right.
So it kind of remind me of that. Like one piece of the city is, but then got an area, just a certain designated area with just they have horses, and then you might see some horses going. That way of living I probably can do because it's like you can either use a horse or a car, right? But just straight all the way country, I can't do it.
I ain't messing with him.
Yeah.
I ain't messing.
Yeah, I like that country life. But I want to thank y'all for joining us on this Black Friday again. For those of y'all out there that's not from Houston or familiar with Houston, again, we have the rodeo in town, which is something that gives us insight on that Western life, and as well as able to see some of the events like mud and busting for the kids, bronco riding and things of that nature. But we have a black rodeo as well. But thank y'all for joining us, man. Peace out. This concludes another Hot Black Friday episode, and be sure you tune in next week for Music Mondays. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast, and for all you YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe.